I don't want none of y'all in the comments to come out here with, it's going to be Cam Neely 2.0, bro. Cam Neely was a Vancouver Canucks power forward that they gave up on because they traded him to the Boston Bruins, and after he was traded to Boston, he became amazing, Hall of Famer, NHL legend, a retired number by the Bruins. Yeah, Cam Neely, man. I don't want to see anybody in the comments telling me that this is going to be Cam Neely 2. Because if it does happen, where this trade goes through, I very much highly doubt that Jake Virtanen would have the same historical impact on the game like Cam Neely did. I mean, Neely had 92 points in 1990 and 91 points the season after that. He was a gosh darn 50 goals in 50 game guy, for crying out loud. So, I know people are going to make those comparisons because the same thing happened all those years ago, but I doubt Jake Virtanen under any circumstances is going to be a 50 goal and 50 game guy. I mean, if he becomes that, I hope it's for the Vancouver Canucks, and I hope he proves me wrong. We always love to see NHL players proving the doubters wrong, right? But for Virtanen, I would be very surprised. Regardless, we had ourselves a new episode of the 31 Thoughts podcast that came out the other day. You know this podcast. It's Elliot Friedman. It's Jeff Merrick. They talk about stuff. They talk about things they've heard around the league, and they share it to the public because we love trade rumors. This is what Friedman said yesterday on the podcast. I think one of the teams that's been sniffing around Virtanen is the Boston Bruins. I think Ottawa has been a team that has also had some interest with Virtanen in the past, and that might be easier because it's Canada. Funnily enough, we also had an article on BostonHockeyNow.com talking about Jake Virtanen chatter. This article from Jimmy Murphy is paywalled, but the first few paragraphs are available to read for free, so we're going to read this here. The NHL trade market is getting muddy as teams need immediate help, but quarantine rules stand in the way. Would a Jake Virtanen for Jake DeBrusk trade make sense for the Boston Bruins and Vancouver Canucks? Or is there a Virtanen sweepstakes in the East being held up by the Pittsburgh Penguins GM search? And, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Teams want Virtanen? We had Patrick Johnston come out in an article earlier last week saying that teams didn't want Virtanen, nor Gaudette, which was why these guys were still over here on the team. Johnston's article said that the names were floated around there on the trade market, but no teams were interested. And all of a sudden, Elliot Friedman's coming out here and saying, yeah, I hear Boston is interested, or at least I think they are. And then there was this article on Boston Hockey Now linking Jake Virtanen to Jake DeBrusk of all people. In fact, there was another thing that came out talking about how Friedman heard rumblings about Juolevi being in the trade block, and then some other people did some crazy detective work, and they're like, did you notice that the cap hits of Jake Virtanen and Olli Juolevi's contract combined, Virtanen and his $2.55 million, and Olli Juolevi with his $800K, that's about the same price as Jake DeBrusk is going for right about now at $3.6 million. Now, DeBrusk is on the IR, but this article on Boston Hockey Now suggested a Jake for Jake trade. The Olli Juolevi thing is just another level of conspiracy right there. But today we're going to be talking about Jake Virtanen again and how the Bruins and the Sens might be suitors. Oh boy, I'm kind of thinking Ottawa. Just my immediate thoughts, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know how the Bruins would actually play with this kind of guy. If anybody does their scouting correctly, I'm really looking to see and try to figure out what exactly there is that a team would be interested in. Because Jake Virtanen, last year when he got 18 goals, is a different Jake Virtanen than what we have now. If the Vancouver Canucks were going to trade Virtanen, and this is the foresight thing coming back again, it's been a topic in the past week's worth of videos because it's so important. How funny is it that the Vancouver Canucks had a chance to trade Jake Virtanen last year when he had 18 goals and his value was at an all-time high, but instead, no, they wait, they re-sign him, they give him money, they choose him over to Foley, and they bring him back, and all of a sudden, a few games later, he's playing like crap. He's getting scratched over and over again. The game that he gets put back into the lineup, he dangles the puck in front of his own goalie, giving it away to Tavares for 2 shots, point blank, that had to get bailed out by Braden Holtby. This management, bro. You could have traded him when he was at an all-time high in value with 18 goals, but now you wait. until he's a scratch, until he comes back out on the ice and he does that crazy stuff. The IQ is through the roof there, Jake Virtanen. Awesome plays right there, bud. And now he's apparently on the trade block. With interest? Like, what? I think the only reason a Boston Bruins team would actually go out there and see value in this kind of player is if they feel like they can get the same Cam Neely kind of thing. Because I've noted it a ton before. Jake Virtanen at his best is like World Juniors Jake Virtanen. It's like WHL Jake Virtanen. He's running over guys, he's taking the puck, he's just coming in, wristing it, bar down, it's in, boom, back of the net, baby. He's like a powerhouse out there. He's like a ball of energy with huge weights attached to his skates, giving him the ability to just run over everything and just power everything to the net. That's kind of what Jake Virtanen was at his best. But in the NHL, he didn't show that. Even in the NHL last year, when he got 18 goals, like, a lot of these goals, while actually products of very good snipage material from Jake Virtanen, a lot of them were just positional plays. He's just in the right spot, the right time. You know, he has the puck on the side, he grips it and rips it, it goes in because he's got a laser of a shot. He hasn't really had a display so far in 2020 or 2019 or 2021 where we saw the old Jake Virtanen, where he came alive and he dominated a shift like he did in the WHL. He's trying to hit guys out there now, which is good, but when you have the puck in your own zone and you dangle it out in front of your goalie, it kind of negates all the other positive things that you do out there. So for the Boston Bruins, if they're thinking about this and they're saying, oh, we really think we can capitalize on this skill set and we can make this guy the best version of himself, then okay, cool. Let's see what you got. Give us a first. I don't know. Is a first even really worth it? I don't think anybody's going to give up a first. Yeah, give us something. Something of value. I don't know if it's Jake DeBrusk or whatever, but something. As for the Ottawa Senators, I would not be surprised if they were actually interested in this again, because we saw with Austin Watson, Alex Galchenyuk, they're not afraid to go out there, try to get some big bodies out there who can help out their squad. So far, Galchenyuk, he's been fine, I guess. Austin Watson scores sometimes, which is funny because none of the other Senators seem to do that. Erik Goodbranson was another big acquisition they made on defense. And because Erik Goodbranson is Erik Goodbranson, you already know how that experiment has gone. The Sens are in a position where they probably do need a change because they definitely have not been performing to the expectation that Eugene Melnyk set out for them. And I know that's the president and the owner, not the actual general manager. You gotta remember what Eugene Melnyk said about this team. He said that he thinks that they can win the Stanley Cup today, and he's guaranteeing a cup in the next 4 years. So, you know, if they think one or two desperation moves to get a guy in Jake Virtanen or somebody else out there who might be a reclamation project on his squad coming over to a new organization for a second opportunity, a fresh start, then be my guest. Ottawa, you guys have so many good prospects, so many good young pieces that if it's Jake Virtanen for any of these guys, hey, let's see, I don't know, Jacob Bernard-Docker or Shane Pinto or dare I say a Jake Sanderson. Obviously, I'm kind of just getting in above my head. There's no way any of those would go through just in terms of a value perspective. But you know what? A guy can dream, right? So, yeah, what the heck? We got to 8 minutes already? Jeez. Let's just go on a little bit more here because while I do think that Jake Virtanen does have a very good projectable skill set, we've said it a ton. A lot needs to go right with what's in between his ears and behind his eyebrows. That has been the biggest problem here for Jake Virtanen throughout the past, 5 years, which is why he has never been able to break out into that mold that he has as a hockey player. So, I've said it a few videos in a row now, if he is in a position to come out here, get a fresh new start for the new team, then cool. I'm all for it. It's just, for Vancouver, find a way to actually not retain salary, actually relieve that cap hit, and actually get something of value back. The Canucks could have had a lot of things in value back if they just traded Virtanen before, I don't know, the free agency period last time. Trade his rights away for a sixth, I don't care. Use that money to re-sign Toffoli. Oh, it's so fun being a Canucks fan. See, this is kind of funny, because now, when the Canucks are bad again, I actually have a pretty good established fan base on here. Not like when we were making videos in 2017. Oh no, in 2017 when the Canucks were bad, we didn't have anybody watching these videos. It was just kind of me pitying myself in misery over and over again, just with 100 viewers each video. Nowadays, oh, it's not like that anymore, man. We're all pitying ourselves together, and that's kind of the camaraderie that exists behind this Canucks team. They've been bad, and now Jake Virtanen, who was bad last night, is apparently one of the targets of the Bruins, maybe the Sens, I don't know. Linked in the description to the Boston Hockey Now article, as well as the Elliot Friedman 31 Thoughts podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you think. Senators, Bruins, Virtanen, Dabrowski, Olevi. What's your thoughts on this? Hope you enjoyed this video. Our show is 99. And bye.